when John was talking about calculate the number of his name, he was talking about a Hebraic system known as Gematria.
Okay.
And in Gematria, it is the same thing that is called numerology.
Okay.
When you are looking at defining and decoding spiritual phenomenon with numbers, there is a whole Hebraic school known as Gematria. That same thing is what is known as in English numerology. Same thing. So when John said calculate the number of the name, he was actually saying those of you in the school of Gematria should decode what it is.
Let him that has enough insight.
Enough insight.
So you have insight into Gematria. You
That's
have insight into numerology.
Yes.
That's the only way you.
That's the only way you'll be able to decode what he was talking
number
about.
Okay.
And you know that the things that John was saying, they were not coming from John. So now let's go and look at the roots of the numerologists. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which who gave him? God gave him. So we want to see the ultimate numerologist. The revelation of Jesus. Let's start from verse 1. Chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ.
So the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him.
Unto him.
To show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
And
he sent and signified it by his angel
unto
his servant John.
Wait. So let's look at the players in the field. 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ. Are we revealing Jesus Christ? The whole book is the revelation of Jesus Christ. So everything in that book is talking about Jesus. 2. Which God gave unto Jesus to show unto who?
His servants.
So everything in that book is meant for his servants. The things which must surely come to pass. He sent and signified it by who?
His angels.
So angels are involved. Then now unto his servant too.
John.
So John is now telling us that we should calculate the mystery. Where did the mystery come from? God, Jesus, angels, John the Apostle. Brother, numerology is from God. Numerology is from heaven. You see, this is the reason why you have to be very careful what you receive and what you reject in your Christian experience. If you look at this, you have a whole denomination who preaches concerning the beast and the Antichrist and exposes the Antichrist, and yet turns around to speak against numerology and astrology. Something is wrong with you. Let's start from there. Something is wrong with you. It is either you are not thinking broadly or you have become narrow-minded. I'm not trying to insult or sound demeaning. I'm just trying to bring attention. You can never talk about Christ and speak against numerology.
You can never talk about Christ.
No.
And speak against numerology.
No. It simply means that you have just become narrow-minded. How do you speak against Christ and how do you speak against numerology and receive Christ? What's wrong with you? How did you appear here? How do you speak against numerology and expose the Antichrist? How are you going to do that? Now watch here. In numerology, we know that we are dealing with the mystery of numbers. And in the book of the revelation of Jesus, the Apostle John was a numerologist, typical numerologist. He presented prophetic symbols in the mystery of calculating numbers. So he said in Revelation 13, from the verse 17 to the verse 18.
Okay, so, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
So you want to talk about the mark?
or the name of the beast,
the name of the beast,
or the number of his name,
or the number of his name. Now wait, did you hear that? Did you hear that your name has a number? Or there is such a thing as the number of a name? Wait,
he had a mark.
He had a mark.
The name of the
Wait, you see, you want to talk about marks. And you want to speak against names. And you want to speak against the number of the name. Something is wrong.
You see, what people are comfortable with is with names.
Yada.
They are okay with, he was named this. This is the meaning of his name.
So meaning of names have impact.
Yes.
But you don't know that the number
of the
name also has an impact.
And the mark.
You don't know that the mark that the person brought also has an impact. We just are asleep in our minds.
Have mercy.
Because we are bound in our denominations. The denomination says numerology is evil. Then you start running with it. And yet the same people will turn around and talk about wrongly the second coming of Christ.
And speak about the Antichrist.
And the Antichrist.
666.
How do you talk about, did you hear yourself?
Yes, Papa.
666. Did you just say 666?
Papa, I just said 666.
Okay, verse 18. We've seen the number of his name.
Here is wisdom.
It takes, you see, it takes wisdom.
Let him that hath understanding.
He should do what?
Count the number of the beast.
Please, verse 18, let's read that in Message Amplified, NLT and ISV.
Message says, solve a riddle.
Solve a riddle.
Put your heads together.
Put your heads together.
And figure out the meaning of the number of the beast.
So numbers have meanings. Figure out the meaning
of the number
of
the beast.
Of the beast.
It's a human number.
It's a human number.
666.
Echoes. 666. NLT Amplified.
NLT says, wisdom is needed here.
Let the one
with understanding
solve
the meaning of the number of the beast.
So, you see, we need to solve the meaning of numbers. This whole issue about the beast is encoded in numerology. You don't want to solve the meaning of numbers. How are you going to navigate this life? No wonder your life has become like we are living on the fringes, and all we want to do is to walk about and how do we call it? Speak in tongues and have a goose bump feel, and we call that Christianity. And we go to church on Sunday and we close and we are back, and we can't even make a meaning of our own destiny. We don't even know what holds for us. We are just mercy, at the mercy of the elements, at the mercy of the universe. Everything just beating us, and we cannot even tell. Solve the meaning of the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is
666.
Okay, now how are you going to solve it? How are you going to solve it? Solve. He said you
should solve. He said it's a riddle. Put your heads together. Balance science and mask. Round three. The problem of the day.
You should put your heads together. Figure it out. Solve it.
Calculate the number.
I like the Amplified. Here is wisdom.
Let the person who has enough insight.
You see, so it is telling you the difference between when a man of God is saying something and another man of God is saying something. You should know.
Problem of insight.
Enough insight. The guy doesn't have enough insight. But you see, he has been placed in a position where he is in a position of authority, and he wants to use his authority to bully you. He wants to use that thing that he studied in Bible school, which is Westernized theology. And he is using that. And you see, if I go into Western theology right now and I talk about the defunct of Western theology, you'll be shocked. Because a lot of the Bible schools scattered around the world is Americanized theology.
Because they brought about the proliferation of the religion. So
no, they didn't bring about the proliferation of religion. It was technology and book prints and the evangelization which came as a result from the West in their being able to come down here to take our resources. Let's call a spade a spade.
Okay.
And so that culture carried on. And you see, the American dream now became what every church wanted to look like. So even till date, a lot of our churches, our preachers, our pastors, they want to dress like American preachers. When you see currently, you see the men of God, they've gone from wearing the suits, because another generation of American preachers have come who are wearing what? Sneakers, and how do we call it? Shirts, and they want the lights, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, when you are doing that, you are the one,
the action church.
the niche church alive. It's all America. It's nothing. It's just trying to look like America.
The American dream is not just church. It's
everything. It affects music. It affects every industry. And that is what we have carried down. And so if you are not preaching that westernized, Americanized theology, you see, theology from Europe passed on to America. And we think that all the revivals, in quotes, has been American revivals. All the awakenings have been American awakenings. So look at the people we look up to. Look at the books we read. Look at the theology we have built. It's all Americanized theology. And hear me, if you have been there, you listen to the men of God, not just on tape. When you begin to talk and you begin to share at a certain frequency and light, they are clueless. I mean, clueless. What did they bring? Motivational preaching. What did they bring? Faith. What more has American theology brought us after these two things? What more?
By you.
No. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. Why do you want me to slow down? I'm asking you a question. What more? You tell me.
I want us to calculate the number of the bees. The tables you want to shake
today.
Oh, but Papa, it's interesting. I think that it calls for action, and that's one thing I always continue to thank God for your life for, because you are not silent on what it is that needs to be done.
Yes.
Because the reason why, so I was talking about the proliferation, the reason why what it is generally is known today is because that is what was
it was just what was proliferated.
But however, if those with the truth are silent, somebody probably had some truth, and because he was bashed,
drowned,
he kept quiet about it. See the criticisms in quotes you face.
Oh, that one.
Because of the
I
things
always
you
tell you
about.
that.
But you get what I'm saying, and it's
criticisms.
To just keep on.
Fifi, did you say criticism?
Yes, Daddy, I said that.
No. Criticisms won't change anything.
Because it's not easy, especially in this circle, to still.
Because I don't need anybody's acceptance. I don't need it. I don't need your friendship. I don't need your pulpit. I don't need your invitation. I don't need it. You see, a lot of times, preachers, we come into the pressure of our peers. We want to be in every pulpit in town. When you have that as a need, then you are tempted, because if you want to go and preach in that church, then you must sound like them,
the church.
So that they can bring you over. But I don't want to sound like your church. I don't need that pulpit. Hey, preacher, I don't want to sound like you. I don't want to sound like you. What is there in your pulpit? Nothing. And when you close church, your people will tune into Cosmopolitan TV. They will listen. So I don't need to be there. I don't need that. We don't. We really, I have no need of acceptance. Now, do you know my sense of understanding?
Tell me about that.
I don't understand how somebody who is a bank manager at UBA wants to be accepted at Zenith Bank as a bank manager. It doesn't make sense. This is your work. Focus and do your work. How then do you want to, now when you wake up in the morning as a bank manager, instead of going to UBA, you want to pass through Zenith Bank
and see what is happening
and see what's happening in Zenith Bank? Is that your workplace?
Or when you enter Zenith Bank, you want
all of it to salute you because you're a bank manager of UBA. No. Serve right, fix your customer service, do everything, your marketing. Your banking system would attract its own customers. Finish. Preach the word. Don't seek for acceptance with somebody. We don't need any man's acceptance. I really don't care if nobody invites me.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, where would I be invited? No, I'm not seeking your friendship. I don't need you as a friend. Fifi is a friend enough. All the guys around in the studio are friends enough. Why do I want you to be my friend? Like back in the day, we went to school together, and then you are concerned that your mates in school have an impression about you. Some of them have become pastors, and what you are preaching, they don't understand, they don't agree with, and you have a problem with it. Really? Please, a senior in school does not mean a senior in life. And a junior in school does not mean a junior in life. Yes. Do you really care about what somebody is thinking because you were in school together, because you were in a neighborhood together, because, please, after school, I've not even seen you. No.
God have mercy.
Why do you bother? Don't worry. Keep it the way you're doing it. Keep firing it. And interestingly, there are other people in ministry that are also looking up to you, that are getting blessed. They're excited about what you're doing. They are actually taking the content of what you are sharing and sharing it to their congregations as well. It's just a matter of time.
But we have many of those testimonies.
Plenty.
Openly admitting.
Plenty.
I have been in error. I was wasting my time.
Yes.
I was wasting people's time.
Yes.
And this is the truth of the word of God that today I want to stand for. So why focus on detractors?
Why? Why? When John was talking about calculate the number of his name, he was talking about a Hebraic system known as Gematria.
Okay.
And in Gematria, it is the same thing that is called numerology.
Okay.
When you are looking at defining and decoding spiritual phenomenon with numbers, there is a whole Hebraic school known as Gematria. That same thing is what is known as in English numerology. Same thing. So when John said calculate the number of the name, he was actually saying those of you in the school of Gematria should decode what it is.
Let him that has enough insight.
Enough insight.
So you have insight into Gematria. You
That's
have insight into numerology.
Yes.
That's the only way you.
That's the only way you'll be able to decode what he was talking about.
Okay.
And you know that the things that John was saying, they were not coming from John. So now let's go and look at the roots of the numerologist. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which who gave him? God gave him. So we want to see the ultimate numerologist. The revelation of Jesus. Let's start from verse 1. Chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ.
So the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him.
Unto him.
To show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
And
he sent and signified it by his angel
unto
his servant John.
Wait. So let's look at the players in the field. 1. the revelation of Jesus Christ. Are we revealing Jesus Christ? The whole book is the revelation of Jesus Christ. So everything in that book is talking about Jesus. 2, which God
He gave
unto Jesus to show unto who?
His servants.
So everything in that book is meant for his servants. The things which must surely come to pass. He sent and signified it by who?
His angels.
So angels are involved. Then now unto his servant too.
John.
So John is now telling us that we should calculate the mystery. Where did the mystery come from? God, Jesus, angels, John the Apostle. Brother, numerology is from God. Numerology is from heaven.
And interestingly, these same parties that have come into play here are the same parties Paul mentioned when he talks about the mystery of godliness. He says Christ was manifest in the flesh.
In the flesh.
He was revealed unto men,
seen by angels.
All of those people are still in place. So that mystery of godliness we are seeing it here. So you can't take one
and leave the other. And all of these beings here are playing their role in the communication of the mystery, in the communication of the revelation. And now when he now got to one block of the revelation, which has to do with the antichristic system, he says, let him that has wisdom, enough insight, let him calculate. So revelations are brought to you. And if you don't understand numerology, God will not speak to you beyond that. Revelations have been brought to you. If this book was a prophetic book and is a book of prophecy, then he's telling you that beyond the communication of the word, there are dimensions you need insight to be able to decode, because they came as signs. The revelation of Jesus, which God gave him, that it should be given to all his servants, the prophets.
Things which must shortly
he
come
now
to pass.
Signified it.
Yes.
So numbers are actually pointers. They are signs. Now, so this brother is sitting in a place, and instantly he heard, teach, open the book, and he's teach. What must he do? Friend, if you don't understand Gematria, you are lost. You won't be able to do anything with that revelation that you've gotten. Once words have been given to you, you must know the alphanumerics of those words. Alphabets have their numeric value. So what is a T? What is an E? What is an A? What is a C? What is an H? It is this that come to us. Watch here. They were talking about babies, children. The entire conversation is what the universe has put together as numbers at that time. So when you heard teach, I will tell you that if, for your information, if you didn't know how to calculate the Gematria, you should just watch the time. The universe will calculate the Gematria for you. As simple as that.
Because everything must be in sync.
They will sync. The words, the numbers, everything will add up. And it would be strange if they don't add up to the numbers on your watch or on your phone. Once the person said teach and you open your book and you saw teach, check your phone.
So there's a line of synchronicity that
the entire universe has aligned. There is no way, and that's all that I want to get that brother or sister to get. There is no way, if he does the Gematria of teach, he will get the very summation
of what exactly is going on at that time. The
numeric value.
Wow.
It will be the same thing. I've seen this over and over. Listen, hey, you know, there are dimensions to this that I have so not taught. When it comes to synchronicity, it's vast. I'm sitting with Pastor David, and we are seeing people one-on-one. And I'm showing Pastor David what the people are coming to say.
The people who are coming to
The
see
people
you.
who are coming to see me. I said, Pastor David, today, everybody, anything they will come here and say, I will tell you before they enter this room.
Papa, let's start from the beginning. People are coming to see you.
Yes.
No prior knowledge of what they are coming to see.
No.
And it is not, well, of course it is prophetic intimation, but not in the way we understand.
I don't care how you think you understand it. It's prophetic. And you see, in our minds, we have to understand what the prophetic is. The prophetic is not only what you pick with your spirit. The divine things of God. These dimensions are also divine. Right now, this conversation that we're having, I can check it out
and confirm
if what I'm doing with you is divine. If it is not divine, we are out of sync. People walked in one after the other. Before they came, I said, Pastor David, this person is coming to talk about his father. This person will talk about his children. And there is an issue of sickness. And I said, Pastor David, I am not using the prophetic intimation of word of knowledge. No. So I opened. I said, what's the time? Then you mentioned. Then I showed him a chart. I said, read everything under the time. Then I gave it to him. He'll read this. I said, okay. Now, let the person come. When the person says now, no, hey, man of God, I'm here. Then Pastor David will be watching my face. He said, when we finished, Pastor David was like, is this how God fixed the universe? Is that how God has aligned? That even our conversations are actually aligned and we don't know? I said, Pastor, it's more than you can imagine. This thing is serious.
Just even the things that seem accidental,
they are actually ordered by the Lord. So you are saying teach. And the person said teach. If you knew Gematria and you wanted to test it, add up the Hebrew Gematria, add up the one on your phone, you will get the same number. Listen, the whole universe is a string of cord flowing together. It's a string of cord flowing together. Do you think that God is stupid? When he now told Moses, lift up the serpent. Lift up the serpent. Whoever shall look on this serpent, the serpents biting them. If this one shall look on this serpent, he shall live. Numbers 21, the verse 8 to the verse 9. Hear what he says.
And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass
that
everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live.
Shall live.
Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived.
Watch here. So you think that the serpent that was lifted in the wilderness was just Moses acting out? Then we come to the book of John, and Jesus now says there is a synchronicity between what Moses did and what I'm about to do. In the book of John, and as Moses
lifted up the serpent in the wilderness,
even so
must the Son of Man be lifted.
15.
That whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
16. For God so loved the world, you know that one.
He gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
50. Synchronicity. Moses, Jesus. Moses lifted the serpent. There are many things that you are doing that it was your grandfather that was doing at that time.
It at that time.
Your great grandfather, that time, that date, that moment, in the synchronicity of the year, he was doing the same thing. Fifi, listen, as we are here right now, I can give you coordinates, calculate coordinates, give you GPS location, and tell you the color somebody is wearing at that location.
Oh, but you've done this to me before when we went to locate a missing person. Spoke about what the person was wearing and spoke about there's 4 people around the person.
Do you know I use numbers? I didn't use word of knowledge. Numbers.
Calculating the numbers.
Calculating the numbers. Gematria, spiritual numbers. You may not want to see it as spiritual, but it is deeply spiritual. You think that you are the one who woke up today and said you want to wear orange. Unless you are out of sync. But when you are in sync, you would wear that. You see, we are not just dealing with the color of the week. That one is another thing altogether. So a lot of people are giving to the color of the day. That one is good. That one is primary. Like that one is primary. It's a good starter. Like today's color is blue, tomorrow's color is red. That one is primary. It's a good starter. And it's too generalized. So some of the times when I hear people say those, it's good. Please don't get me wrong. It's good. But it does not mean that you have to wear red today.
The fact that the day's color.
Because the universe is red. But listen, within the universe, every hour has its color. So there is the ruling color of the day. And there is a specific color for each hour. And there is your color for the day and colors that you can wear every watch of 3 hours. It is a bend. Then you are going to very advanced forms. Fee.
Papa.
The guy is asking. He was
looking at word synchronicity.
Word synchronicity. Yes. And I'm telling the guy, whether there is a word synchronicity or there's no word synchronicity, I've made it simple for you. I said, look here, is there synchronicity?
Because a word synchronicity will by all means be confirmed by a number synchronicity.
As simple as that. So watch here. The word serpent is Nachash. And the word Messiah is Mashiach. Mashiach is going, Messiah is going to be placed on a pole. The Nachash is also on a pole. Now, when you say Nachash, what are you talking about? You're looking at Nun, Het, and then Shin. When you say Mashiach, you're looking at Mem, Shin, Yod, and then Het. Now, let's calculate the two separately. Now, Mem, please listen here. Mem is 40. Shin is 300. Yod is 10. Het is 8. When you add them together, you get 358. All right, let's deal with a serpent. Nachash. Nun is 50. Het is 8. Shin is 300. 358. So as Moses lifted the number 358, so will Messiah 358 also be lifted. As a
and the effect of the 358
is the same effect of the 358 in the days of Mashiach.
The Hadagadashas.
Different actions vibrating at the same numbers, creating the same event.
Separated by millennia.
Thousands of years away. But they were synchronized in time. You are looking at the word, for instance, and God saw that it was good. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
When you read Genesis chapter 1, in verse 4, verse 10, verse 12, verse 18, verse 21, 25, and 31. Please, I want you to read so that I can say something.
So, Genesis 1:4.
Genesis 1:4, 10, 12, 18, 21.
So,
let's go.
And God saw the light, that it was good.
And God saw the light,
that it was good.
That it was good.
And God divided the light.
Next verse, the next one I gave you. So, and God saw the light, that it was good. One. Yes. Next one, please be quick.
And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas, and God saw that it was good.
2.
And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind, and God saw that it was good.
3.
And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness, and God saw that it was good.
Verse 18, 4.
And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw that it was good.
5.
And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and God saw that it was good.
6.
And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very
7.
good.
Please, I'm asking a very simple question. The number 7 is the number of what?
Completion.
Completion. It was good, it was good, it was good, it was good, it was good. Came 7 times. And the Bible said, and the evening and the morning were the 6th day. God is done. Completed. So God saw that it was good. God, not knowing he was running numbers, numerics in the creation. The moment we saw the 7th, that God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good.
It's done with the creation.
He did his 7 inspections. Finish. Vibration, numbers.
It cannot be out of sync.
I don't know how I'm going to explain this some more to somebody who is watching online, somebody who is watching in TV world. Brother, don't you get it? Don't you understand that there is such synchronicity? Okay, if you didn't get this, let's go to synchronicity of similar characters. Now watch here. In the book of Genesis, we see paradise, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Genesis, we see paradise.
Yes, sir.
God made man and put him in the Garden of Eden.
Yes, sir.
Garden, paradisos. Okay. In the revelation of Jesus, we see paradise. In Genesis, we see paradise. In the genesis of man, we see paradise. In the climax of the ages, we see paradise. Next one. In Genesis, we see the tree of life. In the climax of the ages, we see the tree of life. In Genesis, we see the 4 rivers. In the climax of the ages, we see the river of life. In Genesis, we see priestly stones. In the climax of the ages, we see the white stone. Okay, if that didn't ring any bell, in Genesis, we see the serpent. In the revelation of Jesus, we see the old serpent, also called the devil.
Yes.
In Genesis, we see how man was deceived. In the revelation of Jesus, we see after the millennium,
The deception again.
how that he would be released from the bottomless pit after the millennium, 1,000, to deceive. In Genesis, we see God come down to fellowship with Adam and Eve.
The cool of the
In the revelation of Jesus, we see the tabernacle of God with men. Can't you see synchronous books?
Synchronous books.
Genesis and Revelation synchronized together. Oh, okay. Watch here. When you check the movements according to the Exodus, they walked on a sea. Let us go.
In Revelation.
We also see the sea of glass.
Access way to the throne.
On the way to the promised land, they walked on the sea. They walked on the Jordan. You can never enter into the promised land without walking on the sea and without walking on the Jordan that overflows its banks in the heavenly realm. Synchronicity. Do you so
promised reward.
Are you so denying that in Genesis dominion was given to man, and that in the revelation of Jesus the 7th dominion would also be given? Listen, synchronicity. Better master it. You can throw it away. When you appear in heaven, you'll be given a number. You have to interpret.
There's a new name. Once there's a name, there's a number.
There's a number,
there's a mark. So you have to understand the system of marks, the system of names, the system of numbers.
How are you going to live in heaven?
Without this insight.
How are you going to arrange your life spiritually? How are you going to walk with the angels?
No wonder there will still be school there.
Yes.
Because people need to learn.
And the code, 144,000. Why is it 144,000?
You can't sing a particular song because you don't know the numbers and the names and the words that have to do with that song. But it's interesting because the Hebrew language, that original language of God, in it, it's not like English. It's alphanumeric.
Alphanumeric.
So every single alphabet has a numerical value, which can be interpreted. So it's like there are so many levels of the interpretation. It's like you said, it's a whole school on its own.
You see, what we have done is that we think that the Bible was written in English.
In English. The same Westernization and Americanization.
Americanization. Problem. And a lot of our churches, from when I don't want to mention anybody's name, I nearly mentioned something. A lot of the theology that we see around, a lot. The Pentecostal theology is not Pentecostal theology, for your information.
And they'll boldly say that, we don't concern ourselves with Hebrew and Shebrew. It's not important. We hear those things all over the place. And to think
that is just, if you let put it to one, that's just laziness.
No. There's nothing Hebrew.
Laziness.
We can't concern ourselves with that.
Laziness. Laziness in a pulpit.
And how we can read ourselves into error. So much of error just because of the wrong focus. God have mercy on us.
So, the answer to the brother, I just wanted you to see. Gematria will solve your problem.
Yes.
You had teaching, and then you turned into a book and you saw teaching. But for me to say Gematria will be making things too complex.
Yes.
Take your phone.
Just check at that particular time. Then based on that simple decoding, you can know what particular portal you are entering.
Pastor Obed, always a blessing.